And we made it easy for you here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com. Available now by way of the Google and Apple Store is the Next Door Radio app. Anywhere you want to go, you can take Next Door with you. All the local talk programs, all local sports, and a great mix of 70s, 80s, classic rock, you can now take anywhere you want to go by downloading the Next Door Radio app today. Available Google and Apple stores.
And welcome to the Fungo Friday here on Next Door Radio, nextdoorradio.com, and the Next Door Radio app. We've got a good show lined up for you today. A new staff alert, should you say. Assistant Coach Justin Cutts joins us here by way of the Wake Forest Fungo. My friend, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am fantastic. I appreciate you for calling in here today. Based on your resume, what I'm looking for, you have been extremely busy the last couple years. So let's do a quick little introduction. How were you able to kind of get involved with Wake Forest Fungo?
So I'm from Wake Forest, and I've known Julie and Joe and Brad for quite some time now. So back when I was in college still playing, obviously come home for the winter, and I do some clinics with them and work with them a little bit. So that's kind of our connection. And now that I'm done playing and living locally, getting into the coaching world, definitely a connection that's awesome to still stay in touch with. And I got this opportunity to coach with them this summer, and I'm super excited with that.
So originally from the Wake Forest area, so with the county now officially calling Wake Forest Fungo home, or kind of the home baseball team to say, you had the opportunity to play at Gardner-Webb, All-American there, first team, all Big South, all decade team, drafted by the Angels, a Pro 5 catching coach. So much going on here. Talk a little bit more about the history of kind of your career. Was it difficult to kind of go through that route, especially with some injuries, getting back into the coaching rank? You were up there with the best of the best. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so went to Gardner-Webb out of high school, had a great opportunity there. Main reason I picked Gardner-Webb, it's a smaller D1 school, but I knew I'd have the chance to make an impact and play my freshman year, which appealed to me big time. And I was able to do that. I performed well. I made the starting lineup as a freshman and started there for the next 4 years. Had a couple minor injuries here and there, a couple knee things and nothing major. And then had a really good senior season, graduated, got drafted by the Angels. I was able to play with them for a couple seasons until the coronavirus hit. And around during that time, I had my first hip surgery, and just kind of with the injury stacking up and building up, I made the decision to retire and stop pursuing baseball as a player. And I got into the coaching world, got connected with these guys over at Pro 5, Private Baseball High School Academy. They do an incredible job over there just with development and the talent that they bring in. It's been a blast so far, and I've loved every second of it.
So your time when drafted by the Angels, talk a little bit more about that, because a lot of, again, we'll say between 90 and 95 kids that play high or college ball doesn't necessarily get drafted. Talk about your emotions when you first found out that you were drafted by the Angels.
Yeah, I mean, it's, your whole life growing up playing ball as a kid, everyone, they dream, hey, I want to go be a pro baseball player, and getting that call on draft day, June 5th, it really is a dream come true in that moment. You've spent the last 18, 20 years of your life working for something, and you get that call, and it's rewarding. It's exciting. It's funny because at the same time too, you're like, well, man, this is everything I've worked up to, and now I got to keep working harder.
That's
and
right.
It's kind of, I've dreamt for this moment. Well, now I got a lot more work and journey that I got to continue. So it's kind of that twofold of like, man, this is awesome. It's incredible. And then, you still got to keep working and keeping up with everybody that you're playing with now.
So we have assistant coach for the Wake Forest Fungo joining here. Justin Cutts joins us here by way of our phone line, which is brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza. He's going to be the assistant coach for the Wake Forest Fungo. This is the Fungo Friday, a part of our Tailgate Sports Show and Next Door Radio. Make sure to download the app, available by Google and Apple Store. So let's go back turn our attention over back to Wake Forest Fungo. What are you thinking you're kind of bring to the table for those fans that are going to come out there? What can they expect from the assistant coach, Justin Kuntz?
I'm an energy guy. I've always been. I'm always going to continue to be. So I'll be the guy, yelling at everybody, getting everybody fired up, having a good time, smiling. I'm excited to start working with these college guys. I know I've, been following the Fungo the last several years, just being from the area. They bring in some dogs, they bring in some ball players. So I'm super excited to work with a bunch of good, talented players. And I've got no doubt that the staff that they're putting together and the players that they're bringing in, we're going to be successful, and we're going to crush it this spring. And we're going to have a good time doing it. I can promise you that.
There you go. And so talk a little bit more about the town of Wake Forest. I know now that officially Wake Forest and the town of Wake Forest has officially announced Wake Forest Fungo as the home of the Fungo program, where they're going to renovate a lot of this great facility already and just going to make it 10 times better. Talk about what you're thinking on that aspect of it, and how can this affect in a good way for Wake Forest?
Man, so I tell people this all the time. I was born and raised in Wake Forest, went to Heritage High School. Even since I graduated there in 15 and went to college, the town has just exploded. I mean, there's shopping stuff going up. There's restaurants going in all over the place. I mean, it's a great place to be right now. And up there in Flaherty, it's awesome what the town's going to do, bringing all the funding in, and what's also, like you said, a great facility up there. They're just going to dump some money into it and make it just that much more of an awesome experience for not only the players that will be coming in, but the fans. And it's a great spot to be for a baseball team, especially in the summer. There's lots of stuff to do up there in the Wake Forest area. So I have no doubt that people are going to enjoy a night on the town and then go out there and watch some good baseball. So there's a lot going on up there, and it's a great spot to be.
Your time a part of professional ball, of course, they're in the Big South. I'm originally from the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area, where the Coastal Carolina program there. So we got to see Gardner Webb a few different times, of course. But your time in the Big South, part of Gardner Webb, and of course drafted by the Angels, there's got to be some stories, some history that you can tell a little bit about that if you can.
Ooh, I've got a lot of stories. From you mentioned, I'll give you one. Just with Coastal Carolina, the year they won it all was my freshman year there. I tell this story a lot. A bunch of the guys who I played with, they give me crap about it, but it's pretty funny. A lot of people say I was the reason that Coastal won the national championship. And what I mean by that is probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life. We were playing Coastal in the Big South tournament. It was a semifinal game, and we were down to the wire. We had our ace, Jeremy Walker, throwing for us, who ended up being drafted by the Braves, and he debuted. He's a big leaguer, incredible talent. He's pitching against Coastal. I mean, we're going head to head. It's a 1-run ball game. We left a bunch of guys on base, whatever, you can get into it, but we're bottom of the 9th inning. We got bases loaded, 2 outs. And here, freshman Justin Coons is up to the bat. Mike Morrison on the mound. I get to a 3-2 count, and he had that wicked slider, man. And, everybody in the park knew the slider was coming. I knew the slider was coming. Sitting on it. I got it. I took a nice hack at it, and I swung and missed it. That's how the game ended. They went on to win the conference, and then, the rest is history. So all the guys I play with, they always give me a bunch of crap. They're like, "Hey, have you gotten that ring from Coastal Carolina yet?"
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Oh, well, of course, we had a lot of mini games and there at the great stadium that they do have there in Conway, South Carolina. So where we're originally from. You gotta love it. Again, assistant coach for the Wake Forest Fungo, part of our Fungo Friday here on Next Door. And of course, they announced this. The Wake Forest Fungo social media accounts announced this yesterday for a new staff alert. Justin Coons joins us here, assistant coach for the Wake Forest Fungo. My friend, I ask this to every guest that we have part of our Fungo Friday. With you seeing so many different stadiums in your career along the way, what would you like for them to do there at Flaherty Park if you were sitting around the round table, what would you want to bring to the table?
Ooh, good question. The biggest thing, obviously, you get to these higher levels in college and pro ball. Dugout space is a huge thing. Expanding the dugouts. Giving guys more room to be in there and get a little space. And obviously, you're looking for some decent seating for the fans. Because we're down on the field and we're just playing a game. We're having fun, and it makes it a great experience for everybody if they've got a decent place to sit and view the game. Last thing is playing surface. Everybody wants to make sure that the field's in good shape. You can play on it and give the fans a show, hopefully. So yeah, definitely probably dugouts, bleachers, and just making sure the playing surface is in good condition.
Coach Coons, appreciate you, my friend. God bless you. Have fun. Of course, there's never an off season when you're a professional coach and playing in the big leagues and in college, whatever it is. So we wish you nothing but the best. So excited to see you here in the next couple of months. Okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. Coach Coons, the assistant coach there for the Wake Forest Fungo, part of the Fungo Friday. New staff alert there put on by the social media account for Wake Forest Fungo. Make sure to follow them today to catch up on everything they have going on about Flaherty Park, putting all sorts of new. If you have any ideas about the park, I guarantee you they would love to hear it as well. Again, my name is Trey Snyder. He was Coach Coons, assistant coach for Wake Forest Fungo. My name is Trey Snyder. Our phone number, 919-618-9258. And the phone line is brought to you by Little Caesars, home of the hot and ready pizza. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll welcome my good friend and Brandon White of the Tailgate Sports Show. We'll be right back.